Great. So I see this live. We're just going to double check before we officially get kicked off to make sure that people can see us, hear us okay. Our previous video, there was a little bit of internet issues, and I just want to make sure that everyone is seeing that we're live and can join us on here. And it
Great.
looks like I can see us. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. Welcome and good morning to you all, afternoon, evening, whenever it is that you're taking a moment to jump onto these candidate interviews. We are doing this all morning today here on Thursday, October the 12th. Candidate interviews are designed for you to just quickly know that these are folks that are seeking office. They're seeking office for our city council, and it's for this election cycle that's in November, where ballots are getting mailed here in the next several days. And so we always bring to you as a chamber an opportunity to meet them virtually and in person. This is your virtual opportunity. The in person will be next Thursday, the 19th, over at City Hall. That one will also be recorded and streamed. So if you can't make it in person, you can still see the format. But the main difference is that those forums are really more deep dive. It's questions that are asked of every candidate fairly so that we can hear their perspective. They're rapid fire questions because we want how would they react to something once they get that? How do they react to pressure? All those types of things. This one today, the candidates, while they have no idea what I'll throw their way or what I'll be asking them, I'll try and change it up just to be a little bit fair, since some of them are a little later than the others that are starting. And so they have no idea what I'm going to ask them, just so everyone understands. All the campaigns have been invited. If there's someone that's not on a stream, it's because they chose not to be on here for whatever other reason that they were unable to be on here. So getting that all out there for you all, I'm encouraging you to, of course, comment onto the video. You can react, you can like, you can even share it so others in your network see this. Know that we're not taking up any questions. So if you type in a question, the candidate might see it later and respond to you, but we will not be pulling it onto our stream. And I do want to clarify that, because generally I do usually take up questions on any broadcast that we do. So quickly, I'm just displaying any of the comments that I see on here with us, giving a quick shout out to Lori and AJ for being on here with us. And Dave, thank you for tuning in. Scott, thank you for being on here with me. Tell me, who is Scott Shilling?
Well, obviously my name is Scott Shilling. I'm been around for quite a while. I did my background is IT and IT management. I spent many years working for a character named Ross Perot, and so his philosophies of operating in the white zone are ingrained into my psyche. I've been all around the world. I've worked in England. I was in the army in Germany. I was in the army in the United States. I've been all over the place, and I've seen a lot of things. And I'm very excited to jump into the city council role and hopefully bring some of my financial background to the table.
Absolutely. And you've shared with me everywhere that you've been and the things that you've been up to over the last several years. Is Westminster home to you? Is Colorado home? Or have you been here long enough to claim that?
Well, I'm Coloradan, okay? Been in Westminster for about 16 years. My family history in Colorado goes way back to the late 1800s. My great grandfather brought in the first registered Herefords into Colorado. As a matter of fact, I've got the certificate for number 6. So got quite a history in Colorado. Went to high school in Pueblo. So, yep. Oh, Colorado's my home.
And can you share with us maybe the history that you have in our community? What are some of the things or ways that you've already engaged in Westminster?
So, what do you mean? Say to ask that question again.
Sure. So, in the community, what have
Yeah.
you done in our community?
Okay, so just getting started. Okay, I remember several years ago when I was kind of fighting against some of the water rates and things of that nature that were going on, and then to have it all kind of backfire with the current council. So then I was like going, okay, I've been hearing more and more and more. If you don't like it, get involved, get involved, get involved. So I was like, okay, fine, it's time. It's time to get involved. It's time to bring what skills I have to the table, and especially my approach going forward. Because one of the things that been bugging me about a lot of these communities is they seem to be doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Okay, that according to Einstein, that's the definition of insanity. So I'm looking to do different things, looking at it differently. So that's going to be my approach. Now, the one thing that, from a community perspective, is during this campaign, I've really got to know the different areas of Westminster quite a bit more, and I was shocked at the situation down in the southern part of Westminster with some of the issues that they're contending with that I'm going to very much aggressively address as a city council member.
So that leads me to ask you, what are some of those issues that you're looking to address if you are elected into the position?
Okay, so a couple things. First of all, I want to have a seriously good look at financials. It appears to me that we're marching our way down to doing some financial decisions that really don't make a lot of sense. So that's number one. Number two is getting down there and helping the southern part of Westminster with its crime issue and with its homeless issue. Homelessness and vagrants and whatnot that are just really kind of clogging up the show down there. And again, I don't want to do the same thing over and over again. So when it comes to homeless, I want kind of two approaches to that. People who find themselves in a homeless situation, a couple of kids, a young mom down there, not because of her fault. I want to put a program to reach down there and grab those people and pull them back up, give them a good safety net. Then there's the other class of folks that are down there are just like, okay, you choose this way of life. We're going to implement our laws aggressively, and we're going to make sure that we either get these people, make it so uncomfortable that they either get themselves back on track or they get themselves out of here. Colorado Springs is a good example. They're doing a good job of implementing their laws, having not such a horrible homeless issue, mostly because they implement their laws, and that's what I want to do. Next.
How would people that know you describe you?
Well, I don't know. I suppose they would call me an adventurer, somebody who is, sees the issue, attacks the issue, examines all situations or, points of an issue. They'll describe me as a kind of guy that will get it done. And I won't always come in as a classic way. I like to look at things from different perspectives. Like, okay, how do we look at it from this perspective? What do they see? How do I look at it from this perspective? What do they see? How do I merge the two to get something done? Or how do I bring in a third option to get things done? So they would mostly, I think they would describe me as tenacious, patient, kind of a person, risk taker.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Risk taker. I've climbed a lot of mountains here in Colorado, a lot of cliffs. It's behind me now, so now I'm just like, okay, wait a minute, that's a little on the wobbly side, so we'll avoid that.
Well, I'll ask you this final question because time does always seem to fly before I start rounding this discussion out. But how do you stay aware of the latest city news or issues that are in the community?
Well, I've recently started attending some of the, city council meetings, and now I actually pay attention to some of the rags that come through the Westminster rags and the Yellow Scene and some of these magazines that are more zoned in on what's going on here. But mostly, have my ear to the ground listening to people. Boy, have I had my ear chewed off. It's like, my God, why are you so mad? So I want to figure out, why is all these residents so upset, and how can we solve this issue? So that's kind of how I approach it.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Scott. And thank you to all of you that are tuned in, whether it's now or later. We appreciate that. And we do encourage you to share out these broadcasts. We're hopping from one candidate to the next. So I do have to end my time with Scott so that I can hop on to the next candidate. Please be sure to visit our main page on the chamber where you can find all the campaign pages that are listed for you and linked so that you can learn a little bit more about the candidates. These are designed to be quick snapshots for you to have an interest, to learn more, and the more that you are informed, more that you can make that decision when you have all the resources available to you. So we'll be back on here in a little bit.
All right.
Page. Thank you, Scott. I'll see you again next week.
And please vote. Thank you.